Good evening and welcome to the Evening News. I am Olubunmi Ajiboye Agbola. The Department of State Services has officially confirmed that a section of the political class is planning for an interim government to truncate the smooth transition of power on May 29 from President Muhammadu Buhari to President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The DSS spokesman, Peter Afunaya, in a statement said the agency has uncovered plots by key political actors to install an interim government in the country, as it identified some key players in the scheme but did not give names. The nation's intelligence organ said the planners of the interim government's plot had already held several meetings during which they weighed many options to actualize their plan, including sponsoring endless mass protests across Nigerian cities. Afunaya added that the DSS will not hesitate to take decisive and necessary legal steps against the misguided elements to frustrate their obnoxious intentions. He enjoined judicial authorities, media, and the civil society to be watchful and cautious to avoid being used as instruments to subvert peace and stability of the nation. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, has revealed that the federal government has approved a pay rise for civil servants in the country. Ngige made this known when he featured on a television program, adding that the salary increment became important in view of the current economic reality of the country. He, however, said that President is yet to approve the percentage used for the increment. This is as he noted that the pay rise was already included in the 2023 budget and will take effect from January 1st, 2023. The Kaduna Zonal Command of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has arraigned a former Vice Chancellor of Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, Professor Ibrahim Garuba, and a former bursar of the same university, Ibrahim Usman, on a 9-count charge bordering on fraud. According to the post by the official handle of the EFCC, they are alleged to have diverted the monies from different accounts of the institution meant for the renovation of the popular Congo Conference Hotel, Zaria. They were arraigned before Justice R.M. Aikawa of the Federal High Court sitting in Kaduna, Kaduna State, for money laundering to the tune of over 1 billion naira. The House of Representatives has designated 10 parks across the country as national parks. Presenting the motion for the concurrence, Deputy House Leader Peter Akwaterson said in consonance with the provisions of Section 18 of the National Park Service Act, the President communicated in writing requesting the concurrence of the House on the 10 new national parks. This followed concurrence with the presidential order signed on November 16, 2022 by President Muhammadu Buhari. However, Deputy Minority Leader of the House, Honorable Toby Okechukwu, wanted the concurrence stepped down, pending when the President will present to the House the framework for the management of the parks. He explained that the declaration of the parks as national park will enhance the economic potential of the country, adding that leaving the parks in the hands of the state governments will be counterproductive. The new national parks are Alawa Game Reserve, Niger State Apoy Forest Reserve, Bayelsa State, Edo Menum Reserve, Bayelsa State, Fagore Game Reserve, Kano State, Baturiya Wetland Game Reserve, Jigawa State, Kankwe Forest Reserve, Kwara State, Kogo Forest Reserve, Katsina State, Marai Forest Reserve, Nasarawa State, Oba Hill Forest Reserve, Osun State, and Pandam Forest Reserve, Plateau State. Nigerians have been admonished to embrace Islamic doctrines in ensuring peace and accelerated developments in the country. Dr. Musbauddin Orimadegun gave the perspective at the 2023 Special Ramadan Lecture organized by Public Service Muslim Uman. Dr. Orimadegun submitted that despite being well endowed with many resources and human capital, Nigeria is still groping in the dark, while neighboring countries are progressing at an incredible pace. He added that Nigerians should worship God in truth and honesty in overcoming challenges for the country to be more habitable. Parents and guardians have been admonished to be intentional about the upbringing of their children and wards by exposing them to technological advancements, not remain redundant in future. Managing Director Enan Suites and Hotels, Engineer Ademola Adedapo, who gave the admonition at the 4th edition Enan Foundation's annual science quiz competition, maintained that it is pertinent for the youths to embrace careers that will make them employers of labor rather than job seekers, which knowledge of technology offers. The Enan Foundation has held a 4th annual science quiz competition among 220 secondary schools in Osun State with a vision and mission aimed at enhancing brilliant academic performance among secondary school students. Earlier in his goodwill message, the former Deputy Governor of Osun State, Mr. Benedict Alabi, said education remains the most powerful tool for social change, thereby advising students to be of good behavior. And moving on to sports, the Nigeria Football Federation says it will soon introduce a new method of appointing coaches for the various teams. NFF Secretary General Dr. Mohamed Sanusi discussed this at the launch of Niger Super 8 football tournament in Lagos. This is coming on the heels of complaints by Nigerians on the failure of the national under-23 team in the race to Paris 2024 Olympic Games. Some Nigerian football fans reacted on social media, slamming the NFF after the Olympics Eagles, led by coach Salisu Yusuf, was beaten 2-0 by Guinea in Morocco. Salisu had earlier failed to qualify for the African Nations Championship with the Super Eagles B after losing the ticket to Ghana. Fans are blaming the defeat on NFF, which approved the recommendation of its Technical and Development Subcommittee to appoint Yusuf, who was banned by FIFA for 1 year in 2018 after he was caught on camera accepting bribe from men who posed as football agents to select 2 players for his Morocco 2018 African Nations Championship squad. While on the foreign scene, 2 United States Army Black Hawk helicopters crashed in Kentucky during a training mission, killing 9 people. The Army base said in a statement that the helicopters from the 101st Airborne Division crashed in Kentucky's Trigg County, northwest of Fort Campbell, involving soldiers and their families. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear said Kentucky police and emergency management were responding to the incident. And that was the evening news on OSBC TV. Join us at 7 for the major reports. Good evening.